Motivation. Motivation, as the name suggests, is what moves us. It is the reason we do anything at all. For teachers, a lack of motivation has long been one of the most frustrating obstacles to student learning. While the concept of motivation may intuitively seem fairly simple, a rich research literature has developed as researchers have defined this concept in number of ways. Social scientists and physiologists have approached the problem of motivation from a variety different angles, and education researchers have adopted many of these ideas into the school context. While there is a great deal of overlap between motivation theories, researchers differ in their identification of the underlying belief system leading to motivational variation. Some theorists emphasize belief in oneself and one's competency. Other priorities goal orientation, and third group argues that the difficulty of task shape individual motivation. Theories of motivation, intrinsic versus extrinsic. A common distinction made in the literature is between extrinsic and intrinsic forms of motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the act of doing an activity purely for the joy of doing it, and it is frankly very rare in school and work context. Extrinsic motivation, or the use of external rewards or punishments to encourage student work completion, is generally painted in education as enemy of good instruction. This is true to certain extent because as learning is comparable to exploration, the use of rewards or punishments tends to outline a boundary around how much a student should explore. Why is motivation important? First and foremost, motivation is an orientation towards learning. Therefore, it impacts how likely a student is either to give up or push forward, and how thoughtful their reflection on their learning will be. The deeper the motivation for pursuing an activity, the more likely that the student will not accept easy answer to complex questions. In short, intrinsic motivation fosters strong and flexible critical thinking skills. On the other hand, a motivation and purely extrinsic motivation lead to low interest and academic persistence. Motivation fosters creativity and critical thinking. Students who are intrinsically motivated treat learning like play. As a result, they are more likely to flip the learning on its head to see it from a new angle. Motivated students are not more intelligent than unmotivated students, but they are need to find out the answer to a question or to master a concept pushes their thinking. Intrinsically motivated students will think about questions far beyond the confines of the classroom because the presence of a teacher or the fear of low grade are not the underlying drivers for their thinking. Therefore, motivated students, by virtue of thinking longer and harder and enjoying the challenge of being confused, will ask deeper, more thought provoking questions. Motivated students are more able to adapt, learn content, new situation because they tend to reflect on underlying causes or frameworks.